a 56 Chevy pickup truck I have for a customer. And got it on the old rotisserie so I can spin out like a chicken. This thing it's a pretty cool setup. I must have bought it 30 years ago. And it comes with little rubber wheels. I'll show them to you later on. And you can jack it up, put these little wheels on, and then go back to the other side, put your floor jack under it, and you can kind of jack it up and maneuver it around your garage and stuff. Like you weld your patch panels on, and then you can pull it in your spray booth, and you can epoxy prime it or regular prime it, whatever you're going to do. This was sandblasted at one point in life, and you can see where am I right there, where they had cut some of that pocket out. And somebody had started the project sandblasting, had a sandblasted, started it, and it sat for a while. So she's all rusty again. And the minute this thing gets sandblasted, she's going to rust up like that. So what I'm going to do is, I got to get this to a sandblaster and get it home, and I got to blow some epoxy on it. Now a lot of guys will tell you don't epoxy something because you're going to go in there and weld. Well, I'm just going to grind it back. I'm going to epoxy this thing because you can do body work and everything on top of that. And I don't want it rusting up because the moisture in the air is going to rust this thing up lickety-split. So what I'm doing is I'm making wheels for this thing. This company, Whirly Jig, I think from Paris, Tennessee, I don't remember really, they have like attachments and things you can buy and trailer wheels and stuff. So you can tow this thing like a trailer with the body on it. Being me, I'm not doing that, I'm making stuff. Let me show you what I got. Alright, what I got are these hubs off of, my wife had a 1998, 1999 Beetle. We had that car for like 20 years. And I had bought 2 or 3 parts cars for it to keep it running. Hence, that's why we kept it for 20 years. I think it was more like 18 and a half, 19 years. And before I let one of the parts cars go, the all front wheel drives have like a swing arm, like a motorcycle in the back, with a spindle that bolts to it, and then your hub and everything for your wheels and whatnot. So I pirated the, obviously the spindles and hubs off of a parts car, and I threw them in that Corona box there. Like, that's pretty cool. I can like weld them up or bolt them to something that can make a motorcycle trailer or a little trailer to tow around the yard. I was like, that's good inventory. So I saved them. So, 10 years later, I'm going to use them finally. And what we're going to do is, we're going to mount these to this rotisserie. So I have some stuff here. I made up a couple of little gussets, and I set up a piece of plate, drilled the holes out, and I'm going to weld this on the rotisserie like that with, the angle to support it, if you can catch all that. And ironically, even though all of this is metric, the holes here were just the right size for me to run a tap through there and thread it to 7/16 20, I think it was. And that's pretty good. And I'm like, whew, that's pretty sweet. So that'll bolt up to this. I've gotten one on already and welded up. But the problem I ran into with this is because it's European, German. It's not like American stuff where it's 5-on-5 and like 4 1/4, 4 1/2. This is 5-on-5 and 100 millimeters. Good luck. Tractor Supply, Harbor Freight, and all those places don't have they don't have metric bolt pattern stuff. And I didn't want to re-drill this and everything, so I went online and I figured out that Volkswagen, Beetle, Golf, Jetta, they're all the same. There's a host of like different Toyotas that are like that. And I went to a pick and pull. All the pick and pull space savers are gone. They're not in any of the cars. I don't know what they do with them. But I did find that PT Cruisers have, and let's be honest, PT Cruiser is not really a popular car anymore, but it has that 100 millimeter 5-on-5 bolt pattern. So I got a set of these, pick and pull, 25 bucks a piece, cheaper than even buying a rim and tire from any of the places I just previously mentioned. So this is what we're going to use. And it sits deep like this. I'm going to mount them on backwards because you can see how it'll offset and stick further away from the chassis of the rotisserie. I know I'm talking a lot and you guys probably just want to see fabrication and hear music and stuff, but that works out good because here we go. I'll try and do this without knocking my glasses completely off, but that'll fit like that there, and you can see how she'll sit off, and I'll bolt it up from this side. Guys used to do this back in the 60s with Volkswagen tires. You could reverse the 5-lug ones on the wide bolt pattern. I'm showing my age saying that. Well, let's get to work. Let's get crack-a-lacking. Let's get this side welded up. Okay, guys, so this is one of the rubber wheels they set you up with. You take this bolt out, you got your little rubber wheel, and each side of the unit, the rotisserie, there's a pocket here. And it goes right through this hole here. You bolt up your wheel, and there's a spot here with a nut where you can, if you don't want it to move and stuff, you run a nut in there, and she sits against this wheel. If your rotisserie doesn't have it, it might be a cool thing to make for yours. And then there's this here, which is like the receiver in the back of your car or pickup truck, and you slide a piece of steel in here, you put your pin in, and then you have your trailer ball and everything on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a receiver that slides in, and I got to when I get the wheels on and everything, I got to measure the height of the back of my truck to find out, and I'm going to put the tongue from a trailer on it so I can latch it down on a ball. And I don't know if it's going to come zigzag up, or go straight out, or zigzag down, but then I can use this as the whole thing as a trailer. So like I said, just wanted to show you the wheels that came with my rotisserie and how they already have it set up so you can you put a receiver in here to tow this thing around. And here now, gang, you can see I got this one already welded up. I welded it right on top. You can see the pocket where those rubber wheels go really good. But I got this all set up, the bolts through, she's bolted up. I got a little bit of bolt hanging out. Now one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to blow a hole through all of these bolts and put cotter pins in here, just as a safety precaution. You know how us Germans love to over-engineer everything. But that's all set up. She's good. She sticks off the side. When I reverse the rim, it should stick out far enough away so nothing interferes with the frame of the rotisserie. So let's go set the other side up. Alright guys, quick little tip here I guess. To get the cotter pins in the ends of these bolts, it's a hassle to drill a hole in this. You could maybe flatten the spot on the grinding stone or a belt sander or something and put it in the vise and hand drill it out. But what I've done is I've taken a nut here, ironically an old lug nut, tack welded it to this piece of scrap steel and set it up to where I just drilled straight through with my drill press. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to screw this in until it sits flush with the end of that. And I haven't cleaned the thread since I drilled it, so. But we're going to do that. We're going to drill it through. And once the bolt is in there, it should be real easy to just go, wow, blow a hole in there, and we're all set. And what I did was I took I don't have it over here, I took a drill index and the cotter pins I have, and I put them in the holes, and I'm like, oh, that's the right hole. And that's how I decided what drill I was going to use to know I had enough clearance and everything for the cotter pin to slip through. So let's get this set up and drill these out. Oh, there we go, a nice clean, don't know if you can see the hole through there, and I had to back it out with a socket set up, and that cleaned up the threads, and nice good fit. I don't know how good that shows up, but that'll be no problem. Just 7 more to go. All right, gang. We got our space savers mounted backwards, but it's gonna work. I got the front jacked up. Well, I'll show you what I got going on back here, and then we'll move on to the front, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do up there. All right, guys, I'm trying to give you like a bird's eye view, and you can see with this backwards, it gives me all the room I need, and I got my cotter pins stuck into my bolts, and here the bolts go straight through, so I doubt that's gonna go anywhere. The wheels spin nice and true, so that's that. This'll be great. Let's move up to the front. All right, gang, seeing as how I got this dually and it sits really high, I didn't want to make, like I did on the cradle for the rotisserie, I didn't want to have my trailer piece come out and zigzag like that. So I figured I'd just bump it up a little higher. So I made another piece exactly like this one, and I put a little support spacer there, and I'm going to weld that right to my rotisserie this way. And this gives me the option of, depending upon what I'm driving or what I'm doing, I can use either one of these as the receiver. And my piece of steel in here will go out, and $45 they hit me for this. I'm not happy about that, but gotta do what we gotta do, and then that should weld right to that, straight in and out. That should be a real rock'em sock'em robot kind of a deal. So let me get this welded up, and we'll move on to the trailer tongue. Okay, gang. What I did was I opted for sliding one piece of steel over the other, because this 2x2 will slide into this nice and easy, and the other half of this is this here, which fits inside my trailer tongue hitch setup nice. And I also opted to, instead of welding it together, I just ran nuts and bolts through here. So I don't know what's going to happen down the road, but $45 for this thing, being a cheap German, I want to know if maybe I can use it on something else, because I don't use this that often. So maybe I can unbolt this and bolt it onto something else and tow something around the yard. I don't know. But I have it set up so I can go either one of these. So depending if I'm hooking onto something low, I got this here, or this will set up pretty swell for my my dually pickup truck. I just got my little pin, I put that through, and we're good to go. Not super snug that way, but I've only got to go 3 miles one way to the sandblast guy I use. And it's really mostly all country roads, so I'm not going to worry about having a license plate. But that's that, man. So I'm going to bring my truck in. I'm going to hook this up and pull this whole thing out, nice like, and then I'm going to sweep up and clean up my mess. Yeah, bringing this to the sandblaster this way, it'll be a lot easier for them to get the undersides of all this. They'll do a much nicer job. I noticed on the other side, there's some body rot on the roof, top of the door sill there. It'll be a lot easier to do this way, sitting on my little butt dolly, fixing the rot. But thanks for watching, guys. Just a little something I wanted to put out there for you of some of the stupid stuff I do to make my life a little easier in the shop here. And junk parts, I mean, I have maybe $75 invested in this. I mean, all the scrap steel was just that, it was extras. The 2 wheels from the pick and pull, $25 a piece. And like I said, $45. Oh, so I got like $100 in this with tax and stuff, and a couple of coffees and cookies. So, not too bad. It's going to make my life a lot easier, like I said. And right now, I think I'm going to hop in the truck and pull this out and sweep up and have some of those coffee and cookies I just spoke about. So thanks for watching, and don't forget, spritzbyfritz.com. You want to grab a t-shirt, a coffee mug, or something like that. And if you want to become a Patreon member and see some videos that aren't open to the public and everything, go ahead and check out patreon.com/Fritz by Fritz, and you can find me there. Thanks again. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.